So, if you watched the stream before, then you probably know that I don't usually talk like this because right now I am really talking through my nose. This is where my placement is, but it doesn't have to be there. I can put it on my lips. I can put it top of my throat, back of my mouth, and I can also put it lower, which is where it normally is when I talk. Guys, today we're going to be talking about just kind of some more placement play, trying to move our placement around to different places so that way we can again get a feel for what placement is like in any language, really, but we'll be using examples from English so that way you can experiment, play around, and try to identify what does a lower placement actually feel like. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to your Daily American English Pronunciation Show. Wake up, American. We're here Monday through Friday, about 5-10 minutes to make sure that you can get in your pronunciation practice every day because that is what it takes. And we're about to hit up the weekend, which means that maybe you're not going to have as many opportunities to practice, to talk, to speak in English as you normally would during the week because maybe you do it for work or maybe that's when you have access to native speakers and you won't have that over the weekend. So we need to make sure that we can have some things to practice and things like that. And to guide you in this process, there's me. Hello, my name is Jeff. It rhymes with breath. That's one of the 4 keys to a natural sound: including placement, pitch, breath, and trying to weaken your consonant sound and strengthen your vowel sounds. Saying hey to some people. What's up, Emmanuel? What's up to Noman? What's up to Ganshim's back? And Livy is with us as well. Thank you all for hanging out with me today. And so we have just a couple sentences here, and all we're going to be doing is just kind of playing around with them, moving the placement around, do some experimentations. What's up to me, lad? So that way we can kind of feel what it's like when our placement is in different areas of our body. A quick note to our Mission English people. I have some bad news for the morning session. Afternoon is okay. But for the morning session, I will not be able to attend because we have some sick people in our family, so we gotta take care of them. Okay, so I will not be able to make it for the morning. My apologies for that, but I will be there in the afternoon. I appreciate your understanding. Again, that goes out for all our Mission English members. Some of you I see. What's up also to Mike? Thanks for being with us. All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take these sentences and we're just gonna kind of play around with placement. Remember, in American English, we're generally talking low. If you're like, how do I do that? You can take a sound. So, for instance, take like an E sound, so like E, and just kind of move it down like 5 times, like E, 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 E. Again, E, 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 E. Okay. In addition to steps, what you can also do is you can also just drag it. So you can do like E. Okay. And as you get to lower, so as you get to the end there, it's like E. This is a very low placement. Not a lot of air coming through when I do that. My chest gets really, really tight. So this is one thing, when we talk about lower placements, it's not just, it's not like we're going for the lowest possible. Okay, it's not about that. What's up to Nori? Thanks for the hand, the pink hand. I appreciate that. Good to see you today. It's not about the lowest placement possible. That's not going to work in American English, but it is most likely lower than what you're doing in your first language. Okay. Another key for this as well, when you're doing a low placement in American English, is making sure it's breath and airflow, because some people are getting a low placement, or sometimes some people are getting stuck. And part of the reason is the airflow. So the throat is kind of blocking off a little bit of the breath. Like if you listen to me, you can hear that kind of low resonance, that like kind of low droning sound, just like da 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 da. That's kind of the goal for male speakers and female speakers. That's our goal. But if things are too high, if the throat's too tight, you're not going to get that resonance. Like, see, for instance, you can hear a difference between like go like and like that first one just doesn't have that same amount of resonance and warmth, the vibration
you know. So make sure we're feeling our diaphragm. If you're not sure what your diaphragm is, it's an organ that's kind of around here. One way you can kind of test yourself is if you press against your ribs and you take a big breath in, and you take a big breath out. You can kind of see it there where my fist kind of closed in. That when it closes in like that, that's a sign that you're engaging your diaphragm. Okay. Um, no, my wife was in the kitchen. um, and so that's what we want. You want to engage your diaphragm enough. So if you're having trouble, for instance, with low placement and with breath and things like that, some other things, some other resources that may be helpful. I would look up like vocal training, uh, like for singers. Levi is here. Levi is experienced with some singing and things like that. But if you look up vocal training exercises, like instead of looking up placement exercises on YouTube, like look up like vocal training, like get some exercises that singers use because when singers sing, they're using their diaphragm. It's how you project. If you don't use your diaphragm, it's very hard to project. So that is something that can be helpful. And then Ghanshyam's asking the real questions here. Where is your hat? See, like my hair's too long for my hat. I wear my hat when I don't feel like fixing my hair in the morning. But I have one here. I have my other one in my cabinet. Um, they're around me. Um, I need to cut my hair. I know. I need to cut my hair. If I have time, I'll try to do it today. Take out the clippers. Snip, snip. Okay. Um, and thank you. Thanks. Everyone's just like, guys, it's not about my body. It's about my voice. Okay. No, just kidding. But I appreciate the kind words. Appreciate the kind words. Let's get to practicing. Um, for our census. What we're going to be doing. What we are going to be doing is we are going to be moving our placement around. So I want you to try to experiment with me. Okay. Let's start off with this first sentence. Let's start off with our nose and just kind of work our way with different places. Okay. So right now, what I'm doing is I'm making everything really nasally. I am talking through my nose right now. This is a very nasally placement. In fact, if you listen to Bill Gates has kind of a nasally placement. He still has a lot of breath, but he's very nasally when he talks. So this is a nasally placement. Let's say our sentence. It's so rainy today. It's so rainy today. Now let's put that. It's uncomfortable after a while. All right, let's put that by the front of our lips. So I'm gonna like push my lips out. I'm gonna send my placement right here. Okay, it's so rainy today. It's so rainy today. Now what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do top of my throat, back of my mouth. So I'm like right around here, right here. It's so rainy today. I'm gonna go really. Uh oh. I'm like talking from my stomach and everything's really tight. It's so rainy today. This is a workout, guys. All right, now I'm back to my higher than that, probably more towards my chest and like stomach. And I'm also much more open. I'm not really tightening muscles through here, so it's allowing a lot of air to pass through. Okay. I see Ganchi mentioned they also have some singing practice and things like that, which is really, really helpful with these exercises. So now I'm in a more normal position for me for American English. You can hear how open my chest is. Because like when I was doing this, it was really tight. But now it's a lot more open. I'm not heavily engaging any muscles through here. I'm just down. And the way I would say this now is it's so rainy today. Okay. All right, this is already a workout for me, man. All right, let's do our second sentence. All right, so we're gonna go really nasally again. Okay, and the reason we're doing all this is to make weird noises. No, the reason we're doing all this is that we're trying to. I need you to understand your body. If you don't understand your body, this is going to be very difficult to do. So I need you to understand how your body works and what it feels like when you're in different spots. Okay. Mike is asking, how do you differentiate can do, can't do without context? in terms of the phrases here. It's like one context is always going to be a determining factor. So I don't know why you necessarily want to remove context, but context is going to be really really helpful. Okay. That being said, what I will say, let's imagine that we're stressing do in both of these situations. See if you can hear a difference between can and can't can do can't do. Do you notice that for like when you reduce can, a lot of times you hear a little bit more of that end sound like can, and when you reduce can't, a lot of times you hear more of that and sound like can't can do can't do. So when we reduce them, I don't think they have the exact same sound in a lot of situations. But context is always going to be really helpful as well. Just a note. That's a quick thing. I'm happy to talk more about that in a future stream. Levi mentions, no, I'm doing the right placement. I close my eyes and usually it works. This relates very much with our video from yesterday. Do what works for you. If you have something that's working, like in English, the expression is, if it ain't broken, don't fix it. If you got something and it's working, then go for it. All right, what's our next one? Okay, so same idea. We're just gonna move our placement around, have some fun. Okay. Let's again start with our nose. We're gonna talk right here through my nose. The dog needs to be let out. The dog needs to be let out. Let's now do lips. The dog needs to be let out. The dog needs to be let out. Top of throat, back of mouth. The dog needs to be let out. The dog needs to be let out. Really loud. The dog needs to be let out. The dog needs to be let out. And then more normal for me. Got more chest area. Open, no muscles tensing. The dog needs to be let out. The dog needs to be let out. Another thing you can try doing too is trying to just gradually move it. So if I start from my nose, like the dog needs to be let out, 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 the dog needs to be let out. These how we start at my nose and kind of worked our way down. Okay, to the lowest point. All right, I got one more sentence for you. Then I got to bounce, guys. People leave us some tips for we're can and can't, which I appreciate in the comments. Let's start nasally again. How did you come up with the answer? 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 In more normal position for me, how did you come up with the answer? How did you come up with the answer? Okay. Whew. Everything's tight now. Engaged muscles I haven't engaged in years. Not entirely true. But hopefully, again, that just helps you kind of explore your body, find some different places for placement, feel what it's like when you're projecting them from different spots, and start to hear the difference between them, and also try to identify one that is a little bit closer to an American English sound. Okay. Again, some recommendations if you're getting stuck with that. Again, some things that may be helpful to look up. Vocal training videos for singers. I'm not saying like singing videos. I'm talking about like breath, like for instance, like breath for singers. Like I would look up breath exercises for singers. That's one thing I would definitely look up. Okay. Gotcha mentions it's their favorite topic. I appreciate that. And Livy asks, "What did you say lately? That's not broken. Don't what? Oh, the phrase is, if it ain't broken, don't fix it." This is your English expression. If it ain't broken, don't fix it. Because sometimes like things are working. They may not be working like perfectly, but it's working. And you're like, well, let me just like tweak it. And then see what happens. And then you make it worse. And it's like, no, don't touch it. Like if it's working, don't fix it. Yes, it's a very helpful phrase. Let me know if there's a similar thing in French. Mike asking the big questions again: is posture necessary to having a low placement? Posture, it does have an impact. Probably the easiest way to demonstrate posture's impact on pronunciation um, is this like so I'm just gonna say this is just a real quick example. So I'm gonna sit up straight. Let me make sure you can see me. So I'm gonna sit up straight. So when you sit up straight, your chest is out a little bit, shoulders are back and down. Okay. Um, and what you're gonna do, what we'll do, I'm gonna raise my shoulders up to like my ears slowly as I say the E sound, and just hear how the sound changes. This is just based on posture. I'm not gonna change anything in my mouth. Okay. See if you can hear it change. Could you hear the sound change as I change my shoulders? Um, hopefully you could. I could definitely feel it. Okay, because what happens is as you raise your shoulders, your larynx is kind of connected to everything. So as you raise your shoulders, your larynx goes up, and that really restricts your airflow. It makes things really tight. So keeping your shoulders down is extremely helpful. And your chest out a little bit, sitting up straight. Even if you're slouching, that can have an impact. So if you're looking for like the clearest, cleanest sound, shoulders down, chest out, sit up straight, stop slouching. You know, some of Italian helps a little bit with French, but French is like Spanish and like Portuguese I can get by on, but French is harder. Um, what does pas mean? Help me out with my French. Come on, Olivia, help me out. Help me out. Olivia mentions it's more relaxed when your shoulders are not tense. 100%. And in fact, that's really big because when people get nervous, what do people tend to do? They tend to get really tight, especially through here. So trying to avoid getting nervous. One thing, if you have a lot of like conference calls, web calls, or anything, webinars, Zoom calls online, and you use English, one thing I would do, I would take a post-it note and I would tape it to my screen where no one can see it, and I would just write shoulders down, just to remind me when I'm in my call that I need to do that with my shoulders. All right, guys, I am going to make my grand escape. Also, I saw we have a couple new YouTube channel members, so thank you guys for joining. I appreciate you. It's great to see you. If you are a new YouTube channel member, you want to watch our classes. Again, channel members basically, if you see that join button, what channel members can do is they can come to all of our Mission English classes. Just to note again, our today's Friday, the 9:30 class today, unfortunately, is canceled just because we got some sick people. But the 1:30 p.m. class is on. If you join our program, please, I tell you some links. Contact us at fluentamerican.com just to tell me, and things like that. Um, so contact us so that way I can get you the links to see the classes. Levy's being very encouraging. Saying, sure, I can speak with a French accent if you find the right placement. Heard you make the French ooh sounds. I know it's like farther forward. And things like that. Yeah, I've tried before. There's that video out there where I'm doing French. Granted, I've officially studied 30 minutes of French pronunciation. That's the only French I've ever studied. So I didn't think it was bad for 30 minutes, but anyways, I appreciate the kind words. All right, I will see you guys later. Channel members, please reach out. Contact me at fluentamerican.com so I can get you your information to access the classes. I will see you all later. Happy Friday, guys. Have a good weekend. Take care. For those celebrating the holiday, happy Easter. And have a good day today. And I will see you all next week. Take care. Have a good day. Have a good night. Have a good afternoon. Thanks for hanging with me. I'll see you guys later. Bye.